Andre de Grasse. 31 years old, 7 Olympic medals, Canada's most decorated Olympian. Questions were mounting about how much he had left. Then on Sunday, he showed up in Gaborone and posted the 2 fastest times he has run in years in the same afternoon. Canada just sent a warning to the entire world before the Olympics, before the medals, before any of it. Andre de Grasse just wanted to play basketball. He grew up in Markham, Ontario, born to a mother from Trinidad and Tobago and a father from Barbados. Sport was in his blood, but the sport he chose had nothing to do with the track. Basketball was his first love from the age of 5 until his final year of high school. It shaped him. It gave him the speed and drive that millions have since watched on the world stage. The story of how he found track is almost too good to be true. A friend bet him he couldn't beat him in a race. De Grasse showed up to his first track meet wearing baggy shorts and Converse shoes. No spikes, no starting blocks, no training. He crossed the line second overall in the 100 meters with a time of 10.91 seconds. Standing in the crowd was Canadian Olympic bronze medalist Tony Sharp. Sharp walked over and told the teenager something was there. He handed him a card. Basketball was over. Within 3 years, de Grasse was winning 100 and 200-meter titles at the NCAA Championships and representing Canada at the World Athletics Championships. His breakout season in 2015 earned him double bronze in Beijing. He was 20 years old and already on the global stage. Rio 2016. Andre de Grasse was 21 years old, barely 2 years into professional sprinting, and he walked onto the biggest stage in sports. What happened next made him a national hero. He became the first Canadian athlete ever to win Olympic medals in all 3 sprint events in a single games. Bronze in the 100 meters, silver in the 200 meters, bronze in the 4x100 relay. In the 200-meter semifinal, de Grasse ran a then-Canadian record of 19.80 seconds while chasing Usain Bolt down the straight, the greatest sprinter in history. And Bolt looked over at him and smiled. That image traveled around the world. Tokyo 2020 was the peak. On August 4th, 2021, de Grasse did not chase anyone. He ran 19.62 seconds in the 200-meter final, a Canadian record, and crossed the line as Olympic champion. He also ran a personal best of 9.89 seconds for bronze in the 100 meters and added silver in the relay. 3 medals in 1 Olympics. The first Canadian sprinter to do it twice, the medals kept coming after Tokyo. In 2022, less than a month after contracting COVID-19, de Grasse anchored Canada's 4x100 relay team to gold at the World Athletics Championships in Eugene, breaking the national record with a time of 37.48 seconds. It was his 5th World Championship medal. A sprinter in his late 20s, outrunning time and sickness at the same moment. Then came the grind. By Paris 2024, de Grasse was carrying a hamstring injury into the individual events and could not match his Tokyo speed. He missed the podium in both the 100 and 200 meters for the first time across his 3 Olympics. What saved the games was the relay. He anchored the Canadian team from 3rd to 1st in 37.50 seconds, and Canada took gold. His 7th Olympic medal. Tied with swimmer Penny Oleksiak as Canada's most decorated Olympian of all time. Getting older is hard for a sprinter. The questions were real. The timeline was real. And then came Gaborone. The Botswana Golden Grand Prix on April 26, 2026 was a World Athletics Continental Tour gold meeting held at the National Stadium in Gaborone. On paper, the men's 100 meters looked like a race between 2 Canadians and one of the fastest men on the African continent. Jerome Blake went first. Blake had run 9.95 seconds last season to become the 6th Canadian to break 10 seconds. On Sunday, he ran 9.93, a new personal best by 200ths. The time ranked him 5th in the world this year and 4th fastest in Canadian history. It was a statement from a 23-year-old who is still building toward his best. Right behind Blake was de Grasse. He crossed in 9.95 seconds, narrowly ahead of Kenya's Ferdinand Omanyala, who also ran 9.95. That time, 9.95, was de Grasse's fastest in the 100 meters in 5 years. The last time he ran that fast was at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, where he clocked a personal best of 9.89 on his way to bronze. 5 years of injury, recovery, aging, and questions about slowing down. All of it answered in one race before the main event had even started. Then came the 200 meters, and Grasse saved his best for it. He crossed the line in 19.84 seconds. He won by more than 0.2 of a second, a huge lead in elite sprinting. Behind him, Aaron Brown of Toronto crossed in 20.07 for second, his quickest run since 2023. The USA's Kyrie King completed the podium in 20.24. A Canadian 1-2 at a gold-level meet. The 19.84 was Grasse's fastest 200-meter time since his season-ending 19.76 in 2023. It was the third fastest 200-meter performance in the world this year. And it came in a season opener. A race usually runs safely, saving energy before the real competition begins later in the summer. His Canadian record is 19.62, set in Tokyo when he was at the top of his career. The gap between 19.62 and 19.84 is not large. What matters is the direction. That number's moving the right way. After the race, Grasse kept his words simple. Nice way to open up the season running some strong times. But for now, I'm focused on the World Relays and teaming up with the guys next weekend and representing Canada. Both races, both distances, one afternoon, top 2 finishes in the 100 meters and top 2 finishes in the 200 meters. Blake, Brown, Grasse, 3 men who have competed together at the Olympic level for years, all running sharp, all running personal bests or season bests in the same meet on the same day. That kind of depth does not happen by accident. It is what a sprint program looks like when it is healthy and pointed in the right direction. Blake's 9.93 personal best is a signal that Canada's next generation is growing into its potential. Brown's 20.07 is a reminder that he is still one of the most reliable 200-meter runners on the Canadian national team. And Grasse's 19.84 in the 200, while already carrying a 9.95 effort in his legs, is a reminder of exactly who he is. Meanwhile, on the other side of the competition, Gabby Thomas, the reigning Olympic 200-meter champion, pulled out of the women's 200-meter race citing fatigue after winning the 100 meters. She chose rest. Grasse chose to run twice and won the harder event by a mile. The World Athletics Relays take place in Gaborone on May 2nd and 3rd, 2026. Canada is already there. The squad that won relay gold at Paris 2024, Grasse, Brown, Blake, and Brendan Rodney is expected to team up again. That relay group has a history together that goes back years. They were World Relay silver medalists in 2024. They won the 4x100 World Athletics Championship relay gold in Eugene in 2022. They anchored Canada's Paris 2024 Olympic relay gold as one of the most amazing relay passes the country has ever seen. Grasse's anchor leg in Paris, moving from 3rd to 1st in the final 40 meters, may be the most memorable moment of his career.